Rachel from Parenting Central, and I'm answering your baby wearing questions on the page every week. And this week's question is one that I have been asked so many times in the years that I've worked in this industry, and that is, how do you breastfeed in a baby carrier? Now, today I have a Moby Move on, but these instructions will apply to so many different baby carriers. So if you have an Urga baby, a Manduka, a Lilla baby, Mia Millie, so many different baby carriers with the same basic structure. So if you have a waistband, a panel, and some shoulder straps that you can adjust, then keep watching if you want to learn how to breastfeed in your carrier. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more baby wearing hints and tips, and also comment below if you have any questions, and you might see your question answered on the page. So keep watching. Okay, so I've changed out of my Parenting Central shirt because I wanted to show you in something with a little bit more access. Obviously, we're talking about breastfeeding. We're gonna get a little bit more personal with each other than we normally do. However, I am wearing a singlet on underneath, so I will be covered. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about what's going on inside the carrier before I put the carrier on. And I just want to set some realistic expectations when it comes to breastfeeding in a carrier with a newborn or a small baby. It is not necessarily going to be a hands-free breastfeed. When you're using your baby carrier, this is the position that we are normally looking for. Close enough to kiss the top of Bubba's head. We are nice and high and tight. This is the position that they're going to normally be in the baby carrier. However, we are nowhere near the boob right now, so we're going to have to go a little bit lower down. So I would say the best position would be about level with your breasts. We don't want to go down too low. So I know that for a lot of us, when we're cradling to breastfeed, Bubba is below your breast. In the carrier, we do still want to be a little bit higher up, and I'll show you how that's going to work. But basically, we're going to achieve this in the carrier by lowering down the waistband, loosening things off a little bit, but I still want to see Bubba in this upright position. We're not going to cradle, we're not going to slouch them down. We still want them to be safe and supported. But one last thing while I don't have the carrier on, and this is where we're going to get a little hands-on, is so what that's going to look like with a newborn and what your hands are going to be doing. So imagining that there is a carrier there and this is the newborn baby, you might still be directing your baby's face with one hand, and depending on your chest size, you are probably going to be supporting your breast with the other hand. So I know for myself, when I was breastfeeding, I had anywhere between about an E and a G cup, depending on where we were at. So for me, breastfeeding a newborn whose head is smaller than my breast, I would have to put my hand inside my bra, scoop my breast up, hold it for my baby to support them. So this is what breastfeeding in a carrier looked like for me for those first few weeks while we were settling in and while, you know, they needed that extra support. And it's what we did. It's what worked for us. If you have a smaller chest, you might just be able to provide a little extra direction from the outside of your clothing, which is why it is really important that you are comfortable with breastfeeding, and you will instinctively know what you need to do to get your baby latched on. It'll be in a slightly different position to usual, but it will make sense. So now I'm going to pick up the carrier and I'm going to show you how that's all going to look inside the carrier. Okay, so I've got the carrier on. I've got them high, tight, Bubba's close enough to kiss the top of their head, so they are nowhere near where they can feed right now. So to get them into that lower position, we're just going to loosen off the waistband, however it is that you do it on your baby carrier. You're going to start to lower that down. You will also have to loosen off the shoulder straps to allow Bubba to wiggle down deep into the carrier. So you can see how this is much lower. I cannot kiss the top of Bubba's head. This isn't where I want baby to be normally. And as I said, when Bubba finishes their feed, you're going to bring them back up into position. But this is pretty well level with my breast right now. So the next thing we're going to do is, as I said, you may be able to just slide your hand in here, direct Bubba to your boob, and you might just get away with that little extra support there. But if you're like me, you might need to pop your whole hand inside there, scoop your boob out of your bra, and hold onto them like that. So I know it looked a little bit confronting when I was doing it without the carrier on, but it's pretty subtle. Like, you can't see a lot, right? There's not a lot going on here. And that's how I would walk around and feed my baby while we were in the carrier. And of course, when your baby gets that little bit bigger, it's gonna be a lot easier. So when you've got your 3-month-old, maybe a 6-month-old, you pretty much put them in the carrier and they just, I know for myself, they just pulled my shirt down and latched on. Like there was not a lot I could do to stop them, let alone had to help them. It's really just when you've got that little baby that you need that little extra hand here. It might just be one hand. You might not need to direct your baby. It depends on their head and neck control. And then gradually I'm going to get both hands back. So it's a really great tool to have to be able to breastfeed in a carrier, but just be aware that it may take a little while to get both hands free. So now that we have finished breastfeeding, let's say Bubba's gone to sleep, we need to bring Bubba back up into that safe position. And we're going to do that by lifting up that waistband, supporting Bubba, tightening it up, and then tightening up the carrier. And we've brought baby all the way back up into that nice, high, safe position. And we're ready to go on until we come to the next feed. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about any baby carrier, please let me know. And also don't forget to subscribe for more baby wearing hints and tips. Have a wonderful day and take care. Bye.